What's up guys, welcome to today's video, and today we are going to be checking out Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and we're going to be answering, is this game worth it in 2024? Now let's get right into it guys. Now personally I have to say, with all of the games within the Assassin's Creed franchise, that this is easily one of the largest. And if you are one of those players that really loves to get into like a long-paced game, that you get a chance to try out all sorts of different styles, all sorts of different enemies, sorts of different quests as well, then I'm pretty positive that this is definitely the game for you, especially if you want to be going between, stealthy, a little bit of raids here and there, a little bit of combat. It's got some fantastic boss fights, I must admit. And there is a lot of opportunities for you to be doing a lot of things stealthily, even though a lot of people in the community would be like, where is the stealth? But it is there. You just need to, it's just not the highlighted approach, especially when you playing as Eivor, who is a Viking, and he's going to be told by other Vikings that they should just raid and pillage, and it's going to be up to you if you want to go with that approach or you want to go with more of a stealthier approach. And yeah, I think it will be a nice investment if you was to get the game. And keep in mind, I do think the game by itself, without any DLCs, it is nice. But in my opinion, if you want to get the full experience, I would recommend getting the DLCs, because the DLCs are a little bit of an expansion of pretty much all the rest of the stories that we would be pretty much investing a lot of our time into as we are going through the game. It is a pretty large map still, so if you guys really love exploring, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And I must mention that exploring in this game is pretty easy, I have to say, because even if you're on a boat, you can just pretty much do the exact same thing as when you're on horseback, and you can just pretty much have the boat go into wherever you are locked onto while you're listening, as you are listening to your crew talking about some stories, or they are singing some songs. Makes you feel like you're pretty much, like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Black Flag, I have to admit. Okay, I have to admit that Ubisoft adding stories of the crew, and like that does make it fun, I must admit, because when you're just going around this large map, it is very boring when it's been a few minutes and you haven't heard a single word. You haven't heard anything. All you're hearing is birds, you're hearing wind, you're going down the river, like that's about it. But it makes it much more interaction. It makes it way more fun that they get to have like the crew talking about stories, that there's a few characters there that have some hilarious stories. And I must admit, there is also a lot of stories that also adds to the lore of the like Norse mythology. And for anyone that is a big fan of Norse mythology, I would highly recommend for you to explore this game. For like, especially anyone that's watched, even if you've watched a Vikings TV show, they do have parts that they mention Ragnar, and you do get to fight members of his crew as well, which I must admit, those interactions, they're like, you can find them all over the map. And going back to the map, like these characters are all over Norway and England. Just to let you guys know, you do start in Norway, which is kind of a big map, not too big, not too. It'll probably take you like 2-3 hours to kind of reach all the points that you kind of want to anyway, and kind of do anything that you want to do. But at first, I would recommend just pretty much sticking to the story. And once you get into England, that's when a lot of fun is gonna happen. That's when you're gonna be seeing the sons of Ragnar, and yeah, we're gonna be like seeing all sorts of different types of enemies as well, which is gonna be very nice to be seeing how like the Vikings have been dealing with being in England for a while. So some places like London, for example, they've kind of gotten like trying to get used to having like a good mixture of like people that is originally from there and Vikings to like coexist. And it's kind of nice to see that they're like bringing those politics into it and all of that. And also Okay, guys, I do want to be talking about a little bit of the combat. And the combat, the best way I can say that I can put it, it's the closest to pretty much like God of War combat, with the L1 or left bumper being the block or the parry, and with the shield. But it's going to be a little bit different on this Valhalla game. You're going to be able to pretty much swap the shield or pretty much put weapons on either hand, and you will have upgrades later on that you would be able to put two-handed weapons into a single hand, and like you're gonna be there looking like a madman with these two legendary swords, looking crazy. You can also do that with spears. You could even fight with shields. So if you want to go full on Captain America, you fully can. I do enjoy the whole that you get to play as a Viking that quite frankly has nothing to do with the Brotherhood, but we get to help the Brotherhood in quite a few different ways. And there is going to be one part that I will mention this, that you will be visiting one part in Valhalla that would be a Easter egg kind of situation to a part in Assassin's Creed 3. So it is connected. We do get to see certain locations again, and it is a nice reminder of some of the older Assassin's Creeds. And I know a lot of people will be talking about, oh, the parkour is not the same, but keep in mind, guys, at the terrain that we're dealing with here, there is no need for parkour. Like, we need more mountain climbers than parkour specialists, to be honest. And it's better for them to go with a different approach. And plus, I don't think it's a good idea for them to put like parkour as their main focus for every single Assassin's Creed game, because that will give us opportunities. So when we have certain projects that come up, they can focus better parkour system for that, so it has more of an exclusiveness to each Assassin's Creed. Because the last thing I want to do is try to like keep it copy and paste in like some of the earlier ones. Like, I'll be honest, as much as I love Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhoods and Revelation, gameplay wise it was nearly identical. And these times I'm supposed to be a I'm supposed to be a I'm supposed to be a master assassin of like 50 years running through that time. Like, the only time it felt easier is when I was like when I had other assassins working for me. So yeah, I thought I would mention that, guys. But yeah, guys, I would be making a separate video on the DLCs, but I would recommend get the DLCs. They are banging. And yeah, guys, I have to say Valhalla is by far one of my favorite ones in the series. And I have to admit, along with Odyssey, I think they are both banging. I love how they are long games, that they're not directly in the Brotherhood, but you can see how their actions have effects of what Templars, Brotherhood members have to deal with. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really love that part of like outside forces of strictly Templar and Brotherhood can play a role in this world, because there is so many characters like Edward Kenway. He is by far one of my favorite characters, and he is a pirate. He started off, he just killed this guy for his outfit, and he was like, yep, it sounds like there's a job for me to get some money here. And to be honest, the way he was, it was like a nice breath of fresh air, because I'll be honest, having the guys roll around in these pajamas again and again, it just gets a bit tiring, guys. And it's nice to have a nice breath of fresh air with Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. But of course, I love the originals as well. Like, I think the whole franchise overall is doing well. I just wish that they continued doing more innovation when it came to more of the parkour and other systems. But I have to admit, in the last 3-4 games, they are trying to innovate a lot more on a lot of parts of their games. It's just not done to the point that the parkour is come back, and I think we will have a nice mixture where everyone is happy with story, location, parkour, gameplay. It's going to be a tough one, so that's why they're pretty much making 150 games to satisfy every type of player. But yeah, guys, if you liked the video, please smash like, and I'll catch you all on the next one.